I was right. I called it. That's right. Me. Thank you very much. Hello. Hi. My name's Dalin Malna, and welcome to the Higurashi no Naku Koroni Go, or Karma, episode 2 review. Thank you very much. Okay, no, that's good. That's good. So, I mean, just first starting off, I did in fact call it. I was being a little over facetious with the thumbnail, but I was starting to think that's what those eyes meant. I didn't think it was an adaptational choice to reveal Rika early. I was like, if they're doing that, because that's like the whole mystery of the first show, which I am 99% excited about. I guess the one downside is if you thought, oh, this is a good place to learn about the mysteries of the first show and yada bada 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 ba. You know, I've never been spoiled on Higurashi because community's pretty decent about not spoiling too much. You kind of get a Shion reveal usually, and sometimes there's kind of a Hanyu. You know, there's like who's this character with the horns, but usually the actual explicit mysteries, other than that characters exist. Period. Community's decent. Not but decent about not spoiling, at least on like large form Twitter. Maybe it's just because it's not popular. Like if you go to like a Reddit about it, you're gonna see discussion about things. But you know, like just on Twitter, there's not like giant spoilers about like, oh, you remember the time so and so murdered so and so, but it turned out they were puppet controlled by the seeds of evil or whatever. But anyway, all that to say. It's revealed right off the bat that yes, this is a new time loop. This takes place after Higurashi Rei, which is just season 2, basically, the answer arcs, because Rika says, "I know who killed me. I thought we won already," and the whole thing in the second is she's trying to figure out who killed her. Yada da 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 da. So that makes me bonkers. That is like the show going, which cracks me because some people are going like, yeah, this is really an odd choice for an adaptation. And I'm like, I don't know, like other than I'm gonna butcher his name, but Ryukishi, whatever, the author, other than the author like pulling down the sheets and being like, hey guys, it's a sequel. Okay. I don't know how it could be more explicit. That is like Rika turning to the camera and being like, hey, remember these events from the last show? They happened before this, which makes this a sequel by literal definition. Some people were still like, this is a really strange adaptational choice. I find that interesting. No, it's a sequel. It is full on. No more jokes, no more wink wink, no more maybe it's a sequel. It's confirmed. The reason things are starting out the same is because the whole show is about time loops and stuff. So of course there's going to be some similar stuff, and it's a bait and switch, obviously, because well, I'll tell you an interesting thing. When I was at work, I was waiting. So I wait. The reason all my videos come out late is because I hate success, and if I were to actually put videos out on time where people could read them like the moment of, I would get more views, and I hate that. I want more than anything to be niche, because then I can complain about having no success and about being I could basically be like a hipster or whatever, like, oh yeah, those big no, I'm kidding. But the real reason is I want to watch these with my wife, as I mentioned, and these come out Thursday morning, and she works almost every Thursday and Friday, and she's a nurse, so she works like 12, 13-hour days and comes home and is just mind-bogglingly exhausted, both Thursday and Friday, but usually Friday, even if she had the worst day she's ever had at work. I mean, like, just got coughed on, just all sorts of, spit on, all sorts of, who even knows what she's exposed to? For all we know, COVID, I don't know. Well, obviously she's not like in quarantine or anything, but whatever. The point is, she has been exposed to all kinds of crap there, and came home in different scrubs and just was exhausted and tired. And I was like, okay, we're not watching this tonight. But she got cleaned off and was like, you know what? Even though it's the worst day of work ever, I know you're really excited about this show, because I've been texting her about it earlier in the day, and she's like, let's friggin' watch it. And it was, I cannot say how much that made my day. But the point is, that's why all my reviews may or may not be delayed. I want to watch them with her. I like seeing her reactions to all this nonsense, and she likes seeing my reactions to all the new stuff. So it's been fun. It does spoil the original show, but I don't think at this point it's spoiled, and I don't think she was going to want to watch it anyway. So we're just on the ride for the sequel now, and I just explain things as they come up. And it's supposed to be, it's got little recaps where it's like, oh, if the characters do that exposition-y thing, it's like, hello, sister. Hello, my twin sister, who no one knew about until Thursday. You know, like what is it's a little clunky at times, but I mean, Higurashi's greatest strength is never like quippy writing. It's the heart of it all and the mystery. It's the sum of the parts is better than the core, but some of the lines are a little, you know. But anyway, all that to say, I finally got to watch it, and that opening scene, I was giddy just with excitement. Seeing Rika and Hanyu being able to talk again, even though it was mostly just exposition, completely confirmed what I was saying. And then from there, it's been really interesting to point out the differences again. Everyone was pointing out the differences anyway, just because adaptation. Oh, the adaptation's different, so da 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 da. But it's different now because now every difference has a meaning, a deeper meaning than just adaptational differences. It's not just a matter of, well, they didn't like that scene, so they're adjusting it a little bit. And you can think, what was the creative reasoning behind that adjustment? And that's fun in its own way, but much more fun is, hold on, that character's not supposed to be there. That character is supposed to be there. What's going on? One of the biggest differences I've noticed with this, I mean, obviously, so there's the whole Rika reveal way early just to get basically everyone caught up with the fact that this is a sequel and the premise of the show, the true premise of the show, because that's even hidden for the first season of the original show in the first half of the visual novels. One of the things that is really interesting to me is Reina. Because if you remember, and I know, again, there's visual novel fans, and I am a visual novel fan, but this is a sequel to the anime, not the visual novel. And so differences, I'm pulling more from the anime than the visual novel. I told you I'd finished the first 2.5. I'm halfway through the third visual novel so far, and I am still actively reading them. And now I need to get ahead of Yumineko, because also, tangent, possibly Yumineko characters in the theme song, and with their greater emphasis on the multiverse, that's the one thing I am concerned about, is, for me at least, is, like, am I gonna spoil Yumineko for myself? Like, I really don't want to do that, because everyone tells me it's fantastic. The anime never got, well, there's an anime, but it's bad, and it's only the question arcs, and it's bad, is what I'm told. So I want to get through the novels, but I wanted to finish the Higurashi novels first, and they only really just became fully available in English recently, so I've been kind of chugging through them, and especially because there's like an app you can get them on your phone, at least the first 4, because it's hard for me to sit down at a computer and just be able to read. I don't have time, man. Like, I'm able to read these, like, between shifts, like, on a lunch break. Like, I cannot explain how crazy things are in our lives at COVID, because we both work at hospitals, so it is, like, long hours. You know, like, we get up at, like, 5 something. We don't get home till, like, 9 a lot of days. So, not lots of time for reading on a computer. I get lots of, I can bring my Kindle with me and read, while I'm waiting for her in the parking lot. That's where I get most of my reading done. So, without a computer, it's tough. All that say, I don't want Yumineko spoiled. And there's maybe Yumineko characters in the theme song, which is just crazy. Okay, but all that, I've tangented my tangent of a tangent. To come back to what I was originally saying, the differences, and I'm pulling from more of the visual novel. Reina is acting very different. The way I worded it to my wife is I said, in the original, Reina acts really suspicious and weird and creepy, but she acts weird and suspicious and creepy in a different way. And I finally pinned it down about halfway through the episode, or maybe a third through the episode. I was like, what's wrong? I was like, in the original... Okay, well, and again, while obviously you know this is spoilers, I just spoiled the show, spoiling everything. I can't spoil the new show. I assume you've seen episode 2, or just are watching me because you think my face looks funny and it brings you joy to laugh at my overexpressiveness over a a Japanese cartoon. Uh, but in the original, for those of you who've forgotten or are just watching me for the goofy faces, in the original, Reina does act really weird and creepy suspicious, but that is in response to Keiichi constantly questioning her integrity, I guess is the best word. The premise of the original is the very first arc of the first show is Keiichi starts getting infected by Hinawazawa syndrome, which is weird because the anime doesn't really explain it as well as the visual novel, I've been told. And it may differ, but the main gist is still accurate, even if things about the Queen Carrier aren't quite right. Because the anime kind of implies the Queen Carrier theory actually is true, whereas the visual novel reveals it's not true, and it leads to some weird contradictions of the Queen Carrier. Blah, 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 blah. All that to be said, Keiichi begins coming infected with Hinazawa syndrome and becomes paranoid and isn't treated, doesn't trust his friends, because even though there are treatments, the real treatment is the power of friendship. If you trust your friends, you can combat the paranoia, is a really big oversimplification, but that's a lot of it. But he doesn't in this arc, presumably because he just doesn't have enough time with them. He kind of gets more time with them as the arcs go through. But anyway, he starts going crazy, he starts getting paranoid of everyone, and they are keeping secrets from him, but they're not the secrets he thinks they're keeping from him. He thinks they're all part of a grand conspiracy to kill, murder, and whisk people away, and that kind of stuff. But that's not the case. I mean, there are murders and hidden things and yada yada, but the characters around him are not really mostly involved in that. They're good people. It's just there's a lot of secrets in the town. And so, but he begins questioning everything, and he keeps finding more secrets, which is mostly them just trying to, they're like, hey, we really want you to like your town, and yeah, there were some murders back in the day, and some weird stuff goes on, but we just don't want to talk about that. It really was just a string of outside coincidences, really. We want you to enjoy this town. We don't want you to feel like it's a hub of villainy, so we don't want to talk about that, basically, is what's happening in reality. But what he's hearing is like these conspiracies. They won't tell me. They're planning to kill me. And he goes out of his mind and then keeps questioning Reina and Mion specifically, and the more they dodge his questions, the more he becomes convinced that they're out to kill him, and the more his delusions go, and the more their behavior seemingly turns creepy and weird. Okay, so what's happening in this one, though, is he's not really questioning them. He found the thing about the murders in the first place, but then he hasn't really brought it up. He hasn't been constantly asking them, hey, what's going on with these murders? You know, he's like, you know what, that's weird, but it's just not the time for it. I want to enjoy this time with my friends. And that may still, because a lot of that does happen after the Watanagashi festival, so it may still come up. But the thing that's weird is, even before he's potentially starting to get a little paranoid and asking his friends about it, Reina's acting weird as crap. So the reason that's important is if Keiichi isn't yet paranoid, which by all accounts of this show he isn't yet paranoid. He's seen some weird stuff going on. Is like, hey, what's all this? But he isn't yet questioning everything. We haven't seen, at least from his perspective, him going, what's up with this? What's going on here? All that stuff. But if Keiichi isn't yet paranoid and Reina is still acting weird in the background and got the dark eyes and the stop it, you know, like she says something and then the music cuts out and it's creepy and you're like, what the heck? There's a lot of those moments still happening. But Keiichi hasn't yet really been questioning anything. I'm going to throw out a theory now, and I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I know all the people who have read everything know a lot more than I do, but this is my theory, basing it more off of anime knowledge and everything. Well, Keiichi did have that flashback to killing his friends, and my wife thinks, you know, when he was hitting to free the statue, he started having that flashback, which again is another indication it's a sequel. My wife thinks, oh my gosh, that's what the opening is he's remembering the last time and he's going to avoid it. I think that's too nice for the first arc of Higurashi. I think he's still going to end up killing at least Reina. My working theory is my working theory originally is, oh, Mion and Reina are both gonna go crazy, and Mion and Reina are gonna go crazy, and he's gonna actually kill them in actual self-defense, and he's just lost his mind with anguish as he's trying to hit them because they kept getting back up or something. Seeing how this episode is developed, though, I've changed that slightly because they seem to be working at a romantic connection between Keiichi and Reina, which really wasn't that heavy in the anime, at least. If anything, it shipped him more with Mion. So my new working theory for now is that Reina's the one going crazy this time. She's possibly even possessed by Mion. I mean, Doi, she's also possibly even possessed. She's not possessed by Mion. She's possibly even possessed. I don't know if she's just crazy, or I think it's entirely possible characters, maybe from Yumineko, but characters outside the normal bounds are jumping into this world and messing with people. What I would love. What I would love is someone else's time traveling. And Rika and Hanyu and whatever this entity may be possessing Reina or also possessing Mion, because they're the older ones, they're the more but possessing someone else, like, have to duke it out and do battle and like win. Oh, that would be amazing. I don't know, that'd be so cool. Come back here if that happens. That may be too much. I may be stretching the premise a little far, but like time traveling battle, that would be really cool. Reina's definitely acting weird. She's acting weird outside of the things. I think she's the one going crazy. My current working theory, if we're not going to have possession time travel, maybe from Yumineko characters, I don't really know enough about them, but is this. Lost my train of thought. Since Reina has a huge crush on Keiichi in this arc or whatever, I think she's going to go crazy. Mion's going to do something to offend her in some way, and she's going to kill Mion, and then Keiichi is going to kill Reina in revenge, self-defense, whatever. And he isn't really the one that's gone completely crazy, at least not as... Well, he's scratching his throat, which means maybe he starts going crazy, but I think that's the way you still have him end up dead without... It's the twist. Reina kills Mion, and then Keiichi kills Reina. I guess in this show, it does kind of have this thing where you can't... No one can kill anyone in self-defense, for the most part. If you kill someone, it is considered evil, at least in the original show. Which it's one of the few things that kind of makes it my second favorite anime instead of my favorite. Because a lot of shows do this thing where they blur the line, or they remove the line. They say there's like murder, and then there's like being a pacifist. And no, there's such a thing as justified self-defense killing, or killing. Like, you should not kill willy-nilly, but it is not an evil thing to have killed a man who is trying to kill someone else. An innocent, I should say. That is not evil. And sometimes these shows really blur the line. So, like, well, if you kill anyone, there's blood on your hands. And it's like, there just is such a righteous thing. It is just morally... I think all people morally know that. There's a reason we have self-defense laws in nearly every, like, civilized country in the world. There is such a thing as... It is universally understood human fact that it shouldn't be often, but on occasion, there is a reason to kill. Usually to stop someone from killing more people. Like it should be very extreme. It's not like, oh, you stole $1, now I'm gonna shoot you in the back 40 times. But like, hey, this guy's about to rape someone. Yeah, he's got to die. If there's a way to safely take him down without putting the victim in anymore. If you had a superpower, you could snap and knock people out instantly. Then of course you should do that instead of killing. But a lot of times it's just not real life. It's just you gotta kill the bad guy to stop him from hurting more people. I've gone on a tangent. Hello, that's me, Dalla Malna. And anyone who actually like knows me already knows I think about this. But put your pacifist positions. I'll do a reason. I did a whole deconstruction on Trigun on why strict, staunch pacifism is wrong and why it's a nice thought, but that sometimes that's what Trigun's all about. Is that that worldview does not pan out in reality. Okay, thank you so much for everything. I'm pumped. Yumineko spoilers, sequel stuff, maybe. I guess I gotta read really fast now, because now I gotta start catching up to Yumineko. Oh my gosh, this is never gonna end. And some people even mentioned there's potentially a connection to the third series that I know, like, isn't that not even finished? There's like one episode out, right? There's like one arc? I think? Am I wrong? I don't even know. That's brand new. Well, not brand, but it's very new. Bigger connections to the wider universe. I gotta catch up on my 07th expansion. When They Cry lore. I don't want to be spoiled. Everyone tells me Yumineko's the best thing ever, and okay. My name's Dalin Malna, signing out. God bless.